Great books as one of the greatest groups in sports entertainment.
In a moment that left fans across the world screaming in disbelief, Jon Moxley made his earth-shattering return to WWE at Crown Jewel 2025. And the shockwaves from that appearance are still being felt throughout the wrestling world. The former Dean Ambrose, who walked away from WWE in 2019 to carve his own violent, unfiltered path, stormed back into the company in a moment no one could have predicted. It wasn't just a comeback, it was a statement, a declaration that the unpredictable, no-nonsense brawler the world came to love is back where it all began. A night to remember. The scene at Crown Jewel, 2025. The Crown Jewel pay-per-view in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, was already shaping up to be one of WWE's biggest international events of the year. The card was stacked. Roman Reigns defending his title, Seth Rollins facing Drew McIntyre in a brutal grudge match, and several surprise appearances teased throughout the week. Fans expected drama. They expected excitement. But no one expected this. As the main event drew near, Rollins versus McIntyre, in a no-disqualification match for the World Heavyweight Championship. The crowd inside the packed Mohammed Abdu Arena was electric. Every seat was filled, every camera phone raised, every chant echoing off the massive dome ceiling. What began as a fierce, technical contest quickly turned chaotic as both men pushed each other to the edge in a grueling 30-minute war. Then, as the referee was knocked out and both superstars lay battered in the ring, the arena lights suddenly dimmed. The moment the world stopped. At first, the lights flickered. The audience murmured, unsure whether it was part of the show or a technical glitch. Then came the unmistakable sound. A low, distorted hum, followed by static on the giant LED screens. Within seconds, the screens glitched again, flashing a single word in blood-red letters, MOX. The crowd exploded, gasps, screams, disbelief. The sound of heavy boots echoed through the darkened arena, and as the lights returned, standing at the top of the ramp, leather jacket, black jeans, a fierce glare in his eyes, was Jon Moxley. The man who once called himself Dean Ambrose was home. The return of the lunatic fringe. Moxley didn't waste a second. He stormed down the ramp with his trademark intensity, grabbed a steel chair from ringside, and slid into the ring. Drew McIntyre, groggy but defiant, tried to get to his feet, only to be met with a thunderous chair shot to the back. The echo of metal on flesh sent a chill through the arena. Rollins, still recovering, looked on in shock and confusion as Moxley turned his gaze toward him. The two former Shield brothers locked eyes. For a brief moment, time froze. Years of history, betrayal, blood, and brotherhood flashed between them. The crowd began chanting, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Moxley then did something no one expected. He dropped the chair, extended his hand, and pulled Rollins to his feet. The crowd roared as the two men stood side by side, a haunting throwback to the Shield's glory days. Moxley smirked, leaned into Rollins' ear, and said something only the cameras could partially pick up. "Did you miss me?" Then, with one swift motion, Moxley spun Rollins around and hit him with a paradigm shift onto the steel chair. The audience lost their minds. Moxley wasn't here to reunite. He was here to remind everyone who he was. From Dean Ambrose to Jon Moxley, a journey of rebellion. To understand the magnitude of this return, one must remember what Jon Moxley represents. After leaving WWE in 2019, Moxley reinvented himself in the wrestling world. No longer the wild comic relief of the Shield, he became something far more dangerous, a man unchained. Competing across the globe, from AEW to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Moxley redefined his legacy with blood, grit, and authenticity. In AEW, he became a multiple-time world champion, known for his violent matches and raw, emotional promos. Fans loved him because he was real. No scripts, no gimmicks, just pure intensity. When news leaked that his AEW contract was nearing its end earlier in 2025, whispers of a WWE return began circulating. But most dismissed it as fantasy, until now. Moxley's return wasn't just a homecoming. It was a collision of worlds. The man who swore he'd never return to WWE had come back on his own terms. The aftermath, chaos, and unanswered questions. After laying out both Rollins and McIntyre, Moxley grabbed a microphone. The arena fell silent as he stared into the camera, sweat dripping, voice low and venomous. "You thought I was done with this place? You thought you could erase me from your history books? I built this house. And now, I'm burning it down." He threw the mic to the mat, his words echoing across the stunned audience. Security rushed the ring, but Moxley slipped through the crowd like a ghost, vanishing into the sea of fans who chanted his name at the top of their lungs. It was chaos. Commentators were speechless. The show went off the air with the image of Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre laid out cold, and the name Mox flashing across the screen. Backstage reactions. The WWE locker room shaken. The fallout. Backstage was immediate. According to multiple reports, top stars like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Gunther were caught off guard by Moxley's return. Some saw it as a massive boost to WWE's storytelling depth, while others expressed concern about what it could mean for existing rivalries. Triple H, now the head of creative, reportedly played a key role in orchestrating Moxley's shocking comeback. Insiders claim Moxley was given complete creative freedom, a condition he demanded before agreeing to return. "He's not coming back as Dean Ambrose," one insider revealed. "He's coming back as Jon Moxley, the version the fans respect, the one who bleeds authenticity." What's next for Moxley in WWE? With Moxley back in the fold, the WWE landscape has been completely rewritten. The possibilities are endless. Could we see a Moxley versus Rollins feud that blurs the line between fiction and reality? Will Moxley set his sights on Roman Reigns, his former Shield brother turned tribal chief? Or could he even form a darker, more unhinged version of the Shield? Fans online are buzzing with theories. Social media exploded after Crown Jewel. #MOX is back, trended worldwide within minutes. Many are calling it the greatest WWE return since The Rock's 2011 comeback.